My turn of view. I was thinking about a few things, and I started thinking about something that I was kind of heard some of ESPN speaking about quarterbacks, but I just want to say just in general players. But I think I'm mainly going to speak of quarterbacks. But quarterbacks needing to sit a year or a couple of games behind redshirting
QBs.
And when they bring up certain names like Aaron Rodgers,
a couple years behind Brett Favre.
Yeah, that he could have played better, Tom Brady, etc., etc. But then when they say certain players like that, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that these players weren't going to be just as good as they are now then? Where is the tape that informs you that these guys were horrible to start a game, and that now that they had the time of sitting behind certain players, that now they can play the game correctly? And I know there's probably no way you can find that answer, because there's no way of figuring that out.
That's a fact.
There's no way of figuring that out. So then where does this conclusion come from? Like, where does that come from that they needed to sit to be better?
I think it comes into the notion of, like, I think that's more like life. You're using life to put it on sports. So life, like, for instance, like...
But life started for them in high school, bro.
In fact, what I'm saying is life, for instance, with the driving. If I teach a child how to drive today, I'm not going to give him the most potent car in the lot.
But that's learning.
You know what I mean?
But that's the same thing, like, all right, but then if you compare that's saying, if I taught you how to play wide receiver, you're not starting this game. But if you've been playing wide receiver since high school, when you get to the NFL, who are they? They came from high school and college just like you did.
And I don't think people realize that college, NCAA, Division I, and NFL is not that much different.
The sizes don't get any bigger. No. I mean, they get bigger, but they don't get that much bigger. You don't get any real much taller.
Facts.
If you're 6'2" in college, you're 6'2" in the NFL. If you're 205 in college, you're probably, 212?
It's not basketball where it's like, you could be a freshman at 18 and then in the league at 19. In the NFL, you got to be at least 3 years removed.
You're 20-something years old by the time you
get to the NFL, at least.
You're a grown man. By the time you get
to grown anymore. As far as height.
That's what preseason, that's what training camp, that's what off-season, that's what rookie camp, that's all that's for, right? For preparation.
OTAs.
all that. So if they can learn that playbook, why would a quarterback not be able to start? So then now, I started thinking of certain players.
You're saying that your defense is garbage.
I started thinking of certain players, right? Who started right away.
Okay.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
A little shaky in the beginning.
Yeah.
But really... No. Actually, he was really good in the beginning.
Did he start?
Had a little shaky, but then he took off.
Yeah.
How any player should. Most players.
You adjust and then you adjust.
But you compare him to Jared Goff, who had Case Keenum in front of him.
Yeah.
Now, Case Keenum, as we can see, about to be in the division championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Case Keenum's the same player. Do you think Jared Goff learned anything from Case Keenum while being in the Rams? No. No, I refuse to believe no. Because he was not as talented in the Rams as he looks better in a different situation. With the Minnesota, it's a different situation. Yeah. He doesn't need to find some wide receiver open in the Rams. Mm-hmm. Why is it that Case Keenum looks more comfortable in Minnesota and not as comfortable in the Rams, but yet Jared Goff looks very comfortable with that same Rams team that Case Keenum played under? Does Case Keenum now when you say Case Keenum is a superb quarterback, where was he a couple of years ago? Is that situation or is it the quarterback?
Is it the talent of the situation?
Like, what are we really looking at? Because if you want a quarterback to stay behind, that means that he doesn't have the talent. He needs a better situation. If the kid is that talented to be a first-round draft pick, but you're not starting him, why is he a first-round draft pick? This little thing is confusing me. So then I go forward to your man's, Deshaun Watson.
Let's get it.
Now, all throughout preseason, all throughout everything, you say, Deshaun Watson looks good. Everyone in that damn camp, to the little freaking probably kid with a little balloon in his hand watching, like, that black kid can play.
Yeah.
Tom Savage starts. For why? Now, this is when you know you put somebody in a situation just cause.
Yeah.
Why is Tom Savage removed from the game by Second quarter, halftime.
After halftime. Yeah.
That means you knew who you wanted. You knew who had the talent.
Yeah.
But why is he being held back? Because someone told you he needs to sit behind anyone? Because Tom Savage is not a proven quarterback. If you're going to sit behind somebody, put behind Tom Brady where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, you said I said Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Bledsoe gets hurt.
Good.
Tom Brady shows off. Bledsoe never gets back in. So now, did Brady need Bledsoe to teach him to be Brady? Or did Brady just need to play to be Brady? Brady never played all throughout college.
Word.
So is it talent or is it situation? It's very confusing again. So then now we also continue with Brady, and we talk about our earlier speak about Jimmy G. Now, Jimmy G, when the time when Tom Brady was suspended, first year, played pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't really have no one to scout him, right?
Like
Pretty amazing in those 3 games.
yeah, 2-1, something like 3-0.
No, he went 3-0
Yeah.
in his first game, and then he got hurt. Brissett played the last game.
Shout out to Brissett.
But then you look at Jimmy G and say, "Oh, he wants to get traded." He goes to 49ers. You look at the 49ers, like, "Whoa, they're really competitive with this Jimmy G." What? He needed to sit behind Tom Brady to become that well? No, we've seen what he can do before that, and he did exactly what he can do. So why are we putting players behind certain players? To say that they need what? So that's why I go back to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers probably would have been super nice. Did he need Brett Favre in front of him? Probably not. If we can look at it, probably not. Then we look at A.J. McCarron, who's still. So now, I reason I bring up. Oh, let me hold off on A.J. McCarron because that's my last one.
Okay.
Let me go with Alex Smith. Now, Alex Smith started
Day one, yeah.
day one.
Yeah.
Struggled
Yeah.
since day one. I think a couple of episodes ago, you spoke about his multiple struggles.
Yeah.
He's now looking like a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
Just like the Case Keenums,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Situations. It's not so much the talent, right? Because I'm not saying that.
But
Like,
here's the thing with the talent. I think once you get to the NFL, talent's
Yes.
kind of very, very relative. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all kind of there with the same talent.
like you made it
Now
somewhere.
it's about situation. Probably. Because, I mean, we all made it out of college, so we all talented.
We're all talented.
Like, how high is the talent go?
Like so now when you pick up, so that's why my thing is when you start picking players a top first and second round draft. Like this is what I always project when I think of a player. Right? You get them in the first, second round. That means that they're ready now.
Yeah, starters.
Third, fourth, stringers, maybe situational players. No, stringers, second string. They might have some starter. Like I mean, first team reps.
Okay.
Fourth and down, situations. You need more
You
development.
make the team. Like, you make the team.
So-
yeah.
First and two, if you ain't starting, what was the purpose of the situation? Because if you pick them that early, that means that you need them. Why they're
They
not?
feel a need for you.
So now,
Otherwise, why? Unless, and then there's the next side about it where they say we just draft off for talent, but that in a sense gets limited because, like, if you already got a talented receiver core and the best player available is a wide receiver,
what?
you're not gonna draft that wide receiver. So don't use it as like we just say the most.
You're not taking the talent because I don't see the Patriots drafting top quarterbacks.
Nah. And they've had the opportunity. They've had the opportunity.
I don't see the Green Bay. Like I'm just saying. So then now I go with AJ McCarron. So when AJ McCarron eventually starts playing and he starts shining, which I believe that he would. Are they gonna say was it the time behind Palm? Is that what we're gonna say?
Or about Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton? Sorry, rather. Andy Dalton rather. That's what made him first. The person that hasn't won a playoff game made him become better. How does that make sense? And then now I throw I'm gonna throw a little curveball because now I'm gonna throw it like, okay, they say quarterback is the most important position, right? Number one. Now, who does a quarterback mainly throw the ball to? Wide receivers, right? Now, first round quarterbacks start. Correct?
Mhm.
Who they have to pay attention to? The wide receiver and that superstar quarterback. So if you have a player like, let's just say, defensive rookie of the year,
Marshall Latimore.
intercepting the ball against top tier quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me he's talented enough to start and understand what a quarterback is doing, but a quarterback who gets paid more than him is not that well enough to start yet, but he gets paid more than him, but he has to sit behind someone else.
Wow. Okay. That's a good way of looking at it.
It's very confusing. If you go as far, linebackers, Gerard Davis started all season. Safety, Malik Hooker, Jamal Adams, Marcus Williams, they all started.
And if you want to say that,
Because especially safeties, I'm really good with safeties, they gotta watch the quarterback. So if they're the youngest motherfuckers in there, right, and you're looking at a 10-year, 20-year, 14-year vet, and you're able to play the ball, right, how is it easier for you to do it, but the quarterback can't do it? Confuses me. It's really confusing me when they say quarterbacks gotta sit.
they spun a good one here. They spun a good one here. I think it's because, like, well, I mean, that's probably going into too much conspiracy, but I mean, it's the saying of like, you draft the kid that looks the part, and you know he can't play it, but because he looks the part, you're gonna pick him then and say like, I don't want nobody else to get him because he looks the part. So I think, like, you know how they say, like, for instance, he said Mitsubishi actually got a second and third round grade from Mel Kiper. The only reason he went second is because you didn't want somebody else to get their hands on him and then be able to develop him into the star quarterback. So, but that makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
So you basically took a starter's slot for somebody that you didn't have any intentions on starting right away, just because you was afraid somebody else would get him and possibly start him later.
But then you see, but if you project, so then my thing is, why do you draft kids? Why do you look at kids? Why do you scout the kids and say that, oh, this kid can start? If you think the kid is starting, like, besides the quarterback in the first round, everyone normally starts.
Yeah.
It's only the quarterback that sometimes don't start.
Fact, though.
Doesn't make sense. So everyone else is ready.
Running back,
right away, you're up in there.
Wide receivers,
offensive tackle. Your tackles that play against elite men. You're protecting the most important person, and you have rookie offensive lineman from New Orleans Saints, Ryan. I'm gonna butcher your name because I'm sorry. Rametskich. Okay, started offensive tackle for the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
You are protecting 38-year-old Drew Brees against that division that focus with Julius Peppers. Beasley. Who else are they playing over there?
I mean, the Panthers got some monsters over there. Falcons, of course, got a couple monsters with Beasley. And then the other side is
it's nothing.
Got the Falcons, the Panthers,
Buccaneers,
and the Bucks. Yeah, they got a couple
of players.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a great point. I think the best point you made was definitely that corner point. If a corner is
able to read,
and his job is to not even just read the quarterback. He has to
read the wide receiver.
He has to be able to understand these wide receivers.
He has to understand the situation, especially when you're on an island by yourself.
He's playing against the best of the wide receiver, which would be his opposite position.
And
one.
And then the reason why
on top of that, quarterback, he has to be able to focus also.
Because now you have to understand, first off, as a defense, you have two jobs. You got to understand if it's a run or a pass. That's one. Then, if you are playing the corner, I mean, if you're a corner and you're one of the top corners, you're playing against the top wide receiver, guess who the quarterback is looking at first?
You got to figure out a way to actually.
And when you're a rookie, who the quarterback is looking at first, no matter who you're guarding? You.
It's not like the rookie quarterback is somehow
just like, oh, we gonna leave him run.
We
gonna put him on like the bum. Nah, I don't care who he's guarding. If that rookie's on somebody, I'm throwing the ball to him because I'm gonna see what that rookie can do.
Can't stop. Again, he doesn't have the experience. We're gonna see what he can do. That's a great point with the whole corner versus the quarterback.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
And then even that if the quarterback is the most responsible person on the offensive side of the ball. And you want to say that the defensive captain is usually the middle linebacker.
Why is he starting?
And he's Well, how
you got Riddick starting. You got Gerard Davis starting.
So I mean, it doesn't make sense.
You got Reuben Foster starting.
It would be less able to start right away because it's like I gotta go up against grown man. I gotta learn all of these offensive schemes. I gotta learn everything to be able to make these play calls.
So that's what I'm saying. So with that being said, if you feel that your quarterback is not ready, but you gotta pick him in the first round, I think that's what makes certain teams continue to stay in the playoffs and certain teams continue to stay out.
I think it's Belichick. Because Belichick has said I'll never waste equity in a first round pick on somebody that's not gonna play right away from me. That's like almost one of his like main things. Like I'm not gonna make a first round pick on a play that I'm not gonna play right away.
Look at the last couple of picks that he's picked up. I think it was Malcolm Butler, the defensive end. I think in another one, Flowers, another freaking defensive end.
He also
those two.
Like
both.
Matt Light, I remember he had started the first year at linebacker.
Nick Van Noy.
Yes.
These guys are producing.
Yeah.
Like these are all his picks that he picked up when he needed them to play.
Correct. And it's like here's the thing. I think every team has needs, and in the first round, like
they just forget their needs.
Just aim for your need.
But they forget their needs.
Sometimes people get blinded by the quote unquote talent.
They look at what someone else is doing or how someone else is going to look in another team rather than staying in their own lane.
Correct.
And pay attention to what your team needs.
Like, and that's why we need to draft Odell Beckham because he's available. If I have Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders,
and that's why we make those issues.
Yeah.
Your team is projected to pick up a quarterback. Why? Because they feel like there's quarterback options out there that they should develop. Who do you?
The kid miss.
But then look, you pick up Josh Rosen, right? Say you pick up Josh Rosen.
That was the kid.
No, you pick up Josh Rosen, right?
Yeah.
Who's starting next year? Eli.
Yeah.
What was the point?
So he could be nice in 2 years.
But then last year you picked up Red.
Yeah.
What was the point?
Well, that was all they're gonna say. It was a different GM.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's fucking retarded. It's still a person though that has talent. You can't scout him and see. Well, you know what? Maybe he might have picked some others, but you know what? Let's look at the GMs.
Which makes me wonder why with the Jets, Geno Smith is no longer there, and why is Hackenberg? I did not see him play this season
at all.
Like those two things is very questionable.
Just makes no sense
because you lost Sanchez, right? Sanchez was literally your franchise. He got you to the playoffs.
He was a Sanchez.
He was everything. Like he was exactly what you looked for when you draft a player within the top 10, right? He did all that. You break his shoulder. Draft another quarterback to take over his spot. And then after a year in which he gets punched in the face and loses his face, you're done with him too. Then you bring in another quarterback, second round, Christian Hackenberg.
Never plays.
Never sees the light.
I think he played like one a couple of snaps or something like that. I don't think he has a start to his freaking name.
Redash. Here's the thing. You can expect him to look trash. When I was a third string behind Fitzpatrick and Geno Smith, who the hell am I throwing to? Who's I getting better with?
Honestly, if Hackenberg plays, he might look good because all the people that played with third string this season, he might have been comfortable. But that's where it goes. And then I go on the same team. The Colts, I know what their needs are. Offensive lineman. Running back is not the biggest need.
And to me, look, in both of our teams,
it's linebacker.
Okay, man, at this point, let me rephrase this, right? I really want to make a top 25 list of actual
needs.
No, just actual players. Because for me, Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold are not even top 25 college players for me. So I don't even have them listed in my top 25 as talented players. Like, not even talent. Let alone to be able to say they're the first or second pick in the draft.
But those players go into what I call this, that third, later round. That development round.
Yeah. Third, fourth round. Yeah, I don't mind it. But, of course, they're going to go 1 and 2. Like a Trubisky and who's the other kid that went out quick? It was Trubisky and this other kid. Is it Mahomes?
Mahomes went early.
Who was the second quarterback that went out?
It was, who went first?
Because it was Trubisky and then there was another quarterback.
It was somebody else.
Mahomes then.
I don't think it was Mahomes because KC didn't have that early of a pick, did they?
No, they
Mahomes picked them I think they picked up Mahomes like 15 or 12 or some shit.
I mean, long story short, my thing is it just doesn't make sense at all. And then this idea that a quarterback is the most important position, like you can't win without a quarterback. But how many times we got to keep seeing this happen? Tom Brady was not a top tier quarterback prospect at all. He's a god, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he win a lot, isn't he? That worked out pretty well. Like Drew Brees. had to drop in the draft because it's too short.
Yeah.
Then, for some reason, the Chargers drafted another quarterback in Phillip Rivers when you had Drew Brees in his second year starting to come up, already showing that he had skills.
Had one little injury, they let him go.
Then you cut him and say, like, yo, I don't think he's going to make, he's too small. I don't think he's going to recover from that injury. We got our Phillip Rivers in here.
It's funny because Drew
Brees on the championship.
Drew Brees
what are we doing with Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers is still with there. They came close and got.
How did that work out? Yeah. Because Drew Brees, for some reason, doesn't look the part. We're going to go with somebody that can't miss in Phillip Rivers. Not knocking Phillip Rivers at all. But is Phillip Rivers had a better career, even came close to Drew Brees? But yet, the Chargers said, we think that Phillip Rivers is the better long-term potential. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he's bigger? Because of his size? The size is not the same as skill. They all got to that level because of skill, not size.
I remember when I first seen that, that was like me. I was like, wait, it must be because Drew Brees is old. I'm looking at his age. I'm like, he's like 25 years old.
I bought into ESPN. I just bought into ESPN.
I just thought he was no good.
No, I just thought what I wanted is like, okay, Drew Brees, second round pick. Phillip Rivers, considered one of the best quarterback prospects of the
hands down.
You make that move. It's like if I have Kirk Cousins, but I have the third pick in the draft, I'm definitely picking that quarterback. You know what I mean? Because like Kirk Cousins, I've seen where you got it already. So they were looking at Drew Brees like we already saw your ceiling. Phillip Rivers has a higher one. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yo, now that I look at it back, like I really listen to ESPN bang that into my head. That somehow Phillip Rivers is the better prospect long term than Drew Brees, and the Chargers are foolish to let that go by. Mm-hmm. Chargers turned around and made one of the greatest moves ever. We're going to trade our first round pick and Eli Manning and get back 3 picks.
All right, let me go through this last draft and I'll just end it with that.
All right.
Myles Garrett, number 1 draft pick.
Sure enough.
Injured in the beginning, came in, balled out.
Started.
Yeah. Rookie.
Yeah.
Rookie defensive
end.
Yes.
Playing against grown men offensive linemen.
Mitch Trubisky did not start right away. Started week 6 or 8. From not impossible short behind Matt Glennon.
Yeah.
Till finally showed that he
worth more of a chance than Matt Glennon.
Yeah. Solomon Thomas, defensive ends, 49ers, started right away. Leonard Fournette, running back, started right away.
Day one.
Corey Davis had injury problems once he came back, started right away. Mm-hmm. Jamal Adams, rookie safety, which is the most difficult thing to do, especially with 2 rookie safeties. And I'm going to go there because I'm not going to go to round 2. I'm going to go with Marcus May, played the other safety, rookie, started.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, running back. Only reason why he didn't start is because they have Stewart there, but he did take majority of snaps, especially at wide receiver.
He played
significant amount
snaps from day one.
Since game 1. Yeah. Since day 1. Yeah. John Ross, injuries. I already knew he had injuries. I said that from the beginning. I said I didn't trust him.
Yeah, you definitely did say that was a bad pick, and I was like,
I said, what was it?
Looks good.
I think it was one thing. Slot receivers are not first round draft picks.
Yeah, I think I still had that. I ain't work out at all.
Patrick Mahomes was supposed to take over, but hey, you picked him up for later on in life when you could have picked up maybe another wide receiver. That would have helped when Travis Kelce went down.
That's a fact. You could have got O.J. Howard. Like, you could have got
O.J. Howard.
Yeah, you could have got a lot of players at that position besides Mahomes. Don't get me.
They could have got Evan Ingram. I'm just saying. You already are a fast team, and you grab another one. You put a 2. You're already a 2 tight end team. Why not get another elite tight end and put him there? Or get a superstar wide receiver to put him there. Like I said, remember I told you, I like the kid, Tyreek Hill? Yeah. But I said, he only can go as far as he can go.
Yeah. And he never replaced, what's his name?
Was it Macklin? Never. Got rid of him. Never touched him.
I figured they would draft somebody, but maybe they did.
Houston, Deshaun Watson. You knew what Savage was going to do, but they started.
What number was that?
Number 12. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll skip one. New Orleans Saints, Marshawn Lattimore. Started right away.
Rookie year.
Houston Texans, number 12, Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Didn't start right away, but started in the second half. But for some reason, should have started right away. Mm-hmm. Hassan Reddick, started right away. Mm-hmm. Derek Barnett, started right away. Mm-hmm. Malik Hooker, started right away. Mm-hmm. Ravens, Marshawn Humphrey, cornerback, started right away. Jonathan Allen, started right away, got injured. Adoree Jackson, started right away. Actually returned punts right away.
Yeah, I was real happy about that pick, and he actually turned out to be good money.
O.J. Howard, started right away. Right. Denver Broncos, offensive tackle. Garrett Bowles, start right away. Lions, Jerry Davis, start right away. Charles Harris from the Dolphins, defensive end, start right away. Evan Ingram, started right away. Garen Conley had injury problems, started right away.
He the one that got knocked over with the Saints. He the one that was
over for the Raiders. Raiders. Cornerback.
Oh, another one. Okay.
No, he ain't played with what's his name.
I know you mean that.
Yeah. Jabril Peppers, started right away. Marcus McKenzie, started right away. Tre'Davious White, started right away. Taco Charlton, started right away. David Njoku, started right away. T.J. Watt, started right away. Reuben Foster, started right away. Ryan Anichi, started right away. I'll even start with the first couple of draft picks right here in the second round. Kevin King, once he came back from injury, started right away. And he had a bad leg injury. Right? Yes. Okay. Started right away. Cam Robinson, Jacksonville, started right away. Yeah. Malik Dowell for Seahawks, started right away. Buda Baker, started right away. Zay Jones for Buffalo, started right away. I'm just saying, I can keep going. Dalvin Cook, second round, started right away.
This don't make no sense now. Like, we actually put this on his face. It's like,
what is going on?
Like, what we doing here?
If these top... Alright, if I can...
Once I could do that with every draft.
I can do that with almost every single draft and find players that started almost right away.
Because when you think about it, I don't know any other position
that they don't start. Unless... When it comes down to... Let's see.
Other than like...
I go down to the third round. Yeah. When you start getting down to the third round, you get Ahkello Witherspoon, cornerback of the San Francisco 49ers. He started playing after week 2, 3. Alvin Kamara started playing... pretty much soon.
I feel like other than maybe like
Cooper Kupp started playing wide receiver right away at the third round. I'm just saying, bro.
Other than like offensive linemen, I think those are the only ones that you can develop and then play because you have to kind of learn how to like the speed of that next level because these guys is.
You gotta learn a little bit of different moves that they do. It's a little bit different because they got different trainers. Some of these guys take karate.
Correct.
You gotta learn a little bit of different hand movement, how to get off the ball real fast.
And then you protected the most important assets.
But once you show that enough in practice, especially if you play with a majority team, like if you get picked by a certain team and they have a starting defensive end and you can kind of hold your weight against him, they believe you can hold your weight against almost anyone else. So why is it the quarterback who's playing practice and can throw the ball against his own teammates, you don't trust him to play in game day until somewhere down in the future?
But then, like, there's a question I've always had, right? And you've always been kind of like almost like they treat you like a kid when you ask it. How do you know when he's ready? Like, now that we ask that, like, how do you know when he's ready? Like,
that's pretty much goes to the same notion. Like, you don't. Like I said with Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know he wasn't ready. How you know he was ready?
I take it a step further. You know what people say, like, I know I'm ready to have kids. Nobody's ever ready to be a parent. Like, those are 18 years of figuring out a new person every day, newly.
And I think that's completely wrong. That's the rest of your life.
The only people that
who you are
to be a parent, the people that had 4 kids before.
Only person you only can be prepared if you had.
Like 4 or 5 kids before. Like, you've had successful experiences already.
And no, if you raised your baby sister or your baby brother, it's not the same thing. You didn't birth that person.
Correct.
You didn't feed that person. You was not taking care of a child when they came out as an infant and when they needed food every 20 seconds when they weren't talking.
Correct.
So, how would you know unless you're in the situation? So how do you know these quarterbacks ain't ready unless you're in the situation? So if you spend the first round draft pick and then you do...
I need to take it a step further. Who the hell is making that determination? The head coach that used to be the defensive coordinator? Like, the quarterback's coach? Like, who? The GM? Like, who's the one that says, like, yeah, after today's practice, that kid's ready?
And how can I take someone's credibility? Now, you look at someone like a Bill O'Brien, right? That's the Houston Texas coach, right? Yeah. You've seen what Deshaun did, and you've seen what Savage did.
Or even with the Bills.
Or then,
with that...
Oh, you can even look at the Colts.
Yeah, okay.
You've seen what Scott Tolzien did. I've seen it in preseason. And then you had 2 backups that were Probably was Philip Walker. That was the third string that looked better than the both of them. No, and Stephen Morris. So then you're like, okay, the third string is better than the starter, but the third string is playing with backups. Is he really better than the starter? I'm not sure. So what do you do at that situation? Start the third string. Isn't that what you would do? To see it's in preseason. I want to see who the hell looks better. I don't give a fuck what I told you in the beginning. If I told you it's your job, I told you it's your job. You lost it, bro. So then, how can I take the credibility of a coach who sees that player every day in practice and says, go out there and play, and then they play horribly, and then automatically you switch to a whole different setup and get a different quarterback in there?
Which I've never understood. Like, how you say we had an amazing week of practice, but then again, now I realize I just lying to the people. So we're like, all right, we had an amazing week of practice. We're going to go with the backup. The backup has a tough game. And then as soon as Monday morning comes, we decide to go back to the starter. We think he gives us a better chance to win.
This is my thing.
What good week of practice did you see? Are you lying, dog?
This is what I'm saying. Because if you've seen Scott Tolzien in 4 preseason games, right? And it said by the beginning of the season, he started.
Yeah.
By halftime, you take him out. What did you see in the preseason that made you think he should start?
Word.
Because if by halftime he just completely disgusted you,
word.
Why did he come in
2 quarters?
Why
change 6 weeks?
Because if that's your man, he plays that whole game. Next week, we prepare you better.
Right. Well, what the hell is going on in training camp? Like, I go through these OTAs, these training, all these practices.
So now my thing is this. Is it that you're saying that your defense sucks? Because when I remember practice and preseason with them, I remember when they would do the little film, like, something they had the films in. We had a good practice. They say, Scott Tolzien threw 3 interceptions today.
Yeah.
Or he threw a lot of balls to the floor.
Yeah.
That's all I heard on the preseason. So I'm like, why does this guy keep starting? What is it about the other players that don't look good enough? And it's also just what I know from this team. So I don't even know what the rest of these motherfuckers go to.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've had a lot of jobs. You know what I realized? Like, a lot of people have jobs that have nothing to do with the skill of the job. A lot to do with who you know. Where was you when the job was needed?
And this is the reason why coaches get fired.
Facts.
Because you feel that you owe an obligation to a player to start.
If I was a head coach, I am not bringing in my boys to fill in all of those roles, like my linebackers coach, my wide receivers coach.
Hell no.
I had a bunch of dudes that I came up with just because I'm cool with them. Like, you get a gig.
No, unless you can prove yourself and we're cool, then
I want to lead at every spot. I want the best possible quarterback.
I'm saying if my boy is that top elite linebacker, he's coming in.
Oh, facts.
But if my boy is just like I think I can do it.
Like, you was just like,
you can try somewhere else.
You was like a linebacker's assistant. I'm gonna bring you to be my defensive coordinator. I ain't doing that. Like, you're just because you're my man, that I think that we would have fun. This is a situation. What I'm trying to make here is some of these hires. Dude was an offensive coordinator for 2 years. Now he's head coach.
What? Yeah, like what? It's a few of these guys. Like with Josh McDaniels coming to the to the Colts, right? I heard he might be taking linebackers coach from the Cowboys to make a defensive coordinator. I'm like, really? Then I found out they're friends. So I'm like, is that the best decision? Now, I like what he's done with the Cowboys linebackers core. Yeah. I don't know if it's a defensive coordinator. Maybe he might excel, maybe he not. I'm not sure. But he's only been there for 2 years. This is how things... I don't know. But then again, like we said, when do you know when you're ready? Unless you're ready.
Make no sense, though. Like, and I mean, it can make sense if, like, hold up, since, like, so let's just say with Frank Ntilikina with the Knicks. If Jeff Hornacek is saying, like, we need to be sure that Frank is being more aggressive and he's not as hesitant playing through the game. Once we see that he's not playing as hesitant, we will definitely give him the starting role. Because we need somebody to come out aggressive to start a game. Fine. And you can clearly still see right now Frank has a lot of hesitations. And that's what Jeff is harbored on. So that makes sense. I don't feel like Jeff is lying to me or he's trying to hold back Frank Ntilikina. But then when people say, well, hey, we're just not sure Hackenberg is ready to go out there. Like, dog.
Have we seen
He was a star in college. He's been in the NFL now for 2 years. When the hell do you think he's going to be ready to go out there and show whatever he's going to be?
And then what was the purpose of, like
don't you not have a job? At that point, I don't feel like I'm being lied to. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you're a horrible organizer. Like Belichick always has a plan for every player, from player number 1 to the 63rd dude on the roster. Oh yeah, yeah, he's with special teams with us. He's been doing a great job working on punt returns.
Look at what's his name, Slater.
You know what I mean?
One of the top special team players in the world.
But then you hit the Jets. Well, what's the plan with Hackenberg? What's the plan with Perry? Well, we have them in practice. They're competing for snaps, and we're just gonna see, who's gonna get better.
All right.
What kind of plan is that?
Let me speak of Hackenberg real quick. Hackenberg got drafted in 2016, second round pick.
Early second round, if I'm not mistaken.
50th pick, 51.
Okay.
Like top, because 30. Yeah, so he's like 20th.
Okay.
During his first preseason debut was third preseason. I'm not sure if he had injuries. I don't know why they wait till third to start him, but
I think that's because Gino was getting it.
Still, like you have 4 quarters. You don't need to play.
That's a fact.
Well, I don't understand why he plays not one single quarter until the third. He throws 6 out of 16 for 105, a touchdown, and an interception. Mm-hmm. Okay, then he played the finale. 11 for 31, 54 yards, an interception, return for a touchdown. Then he began the season as the 4th-string quarterback. Was inactive for the first 15 games. Was only active in the final season game because to make the 53 for the roster, just for the roster. He just did not play at all.
Right.
Throughout the season, he remained on the bench behind starting quarterback Ryan Fitzmagic, who was benched for ineffective play. Geno Smith went on season-ending injury reserve list.
Punching him out.
Bryce Petty, who suffered a season injury, also suffered a season-ending injury. Hackenberg did not play one single down.
That's
3 quarterbacks are down, and you have a rookie that you picked up in the second round, and you don't play him.
I would have to say, now this might sound crazy, but what I'm getting the impression of,
they made a mistake.
No, I think they picked him without ever actually
check him out. We see the quarterback, bro. We got 3. We just need to pick one up.
I feel like they were just looking at what was available. Was like, oh, he's the best quarterback left. Let's pick him. But we've never even brought him in for a scout. Like, we don't know what he does. He's on the board. Everybody else does the job. They know what they're doing. He's ranked, right? Bring him in. I don't think they ever actually went to his pro day. I don't think they actually interviewed him beforehand. I don't think they brought him into the Jets facility and worked him out. I think he just so happened to be ranked by Mel Kiper as the next best quarterback, and they just was like, yo, we need a quarterback. He's the best one available. Let's bring him in.
Because even in this year, he got beat out by Petty. He was back up to McCown until Petty came back, and then he was back up to Petty when McCown got hurt.
I'm just confused.
Still hasn't played a single down in the NFL.
That's it.
And it has played in 2 preseason games.
At some point, it goes both ways. The organization has to say to themselves,
get rid of the guy.
We holding him back from having some kind of NFL career. On the other side of it, he has to say to himself, like, yo, am I just here to collect a check and, be really a coach? Because, like, I'm not really a player here.
Son, it doesn't make any sense. How do you have... Most teams only have 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They had 4, and they still didn't play him.
But I can only imagine what their record was that year.
But I'm saying he's your 4th string, and he doesn't even get to play, and he's not injured? What was the point of drafting him?
But then they'll say, like, yo, different GM that did this.
No, but this is the same
even
year.
So, when you
I'm talking about the year he was drafted, though. How you don't play the year you're drafted? Last year, they didn't have a good record. This year was a better record than last year, wasn't it? It was like 3-13 last year.
That's right. Yeah, because they got with the 6th pick. So yeah, they were definitely. I mean, I'm just confused, man. Like,
because Ryan Fitzmagic had his magic the year before.
But the Jets, as far as quarterbacks, they've been messing up ever since Mark Sanchez's 4th year. When y'all decided we're gonna take away Plaxico Burress, and we're not gonna replace him with any kind of receiver. You're just gonna have what you have here. It's like, yo, are they trying to support? We're gonna take away Thomas Jones and not give you another running back. I don't think they. But who's? But that goes back to the owner. Whoever owns the Jets has not did a good job selecting general managers for the last 15 years. I can't remember the last good Jets general manager, and I think at that time, Parcells was the coach and the GM. The last time I think it was like a competent general manager,
decent, reliable source of someone to listen to.
Because since then it's just been like poor choices, and then you get fired before you even get the chance to like see your choice make sense. Like before McCagg, the guy Izek, he had one draft and got fired. That set back the Jets 15 years, at least 10 years.
Because
you can't bring a dude in for 1 year, let him run your whole draft. We're just going to project those plays for the next 3 to 4 years on your roster. And fire him the very next year.
Yeah, it was 97 to 99. Parcells.
Shit, man. That's the last time Jets had some competency with their head situation. Shout out to my man Herb Evans. He had some good time here, but I don't think he was a general manager.
I just did not know that Bill Parcells was Cleveland Browns courtesy consultant. 2014.
I heard about that a while back. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Forgot he's around.
Yeah, I know they did that when they were trying to get a new GM. But that's when they hired Sashi Brown, who for some reason they just randomly fired early this year. And then brought in the guy that I wanted the Giants to go get, the GM from over with the Dorsey.
Mm-hmm.
He's the GM for the Chiefs. And then he had a disagreement with one of the, I think, his guys over there, and they let him go. He's the one that drafted most of the players that Chiefs have right now. So he was supposed to be like the Giants' favorite before the Giants could get rid of Reese and like get that whole thing cleaned
What's
up.
his name?
John Dorsey.
John Dorsey? What did he's still...
Now the Browns fired their GM, Sashi Brown, and just hired him as soon
Dorsey.
as they realized he was available like that.
Oh yeah, that was when I got drafted right away.
Which was some jerk moves. Like Sashi Brown, like keep your head up, bro. You be back up, man. Like, keep your head up, man. Just don't let these coaches say whatever they want.
Cleveland got they got a lot of good picks, good players.
She did well.
From Danny Shelton, Jabril Peppers,
Myles
Garrett,
Corey Coleman,
David Njoku, Doug Johnson, David Johnson was the running back.
Yeah, that was like last year I think he drafted him.
Picking up Isaiah Crowell.
Or even like the Terrell Pryor signing. That was a very good move that, his stock went way up and then he got to deal with the Redskins.
Kaiser's not a bad quarterback. He just was not the right one.
I just think that wasn't...
They just missed a couple.
I would say it like this. I think the problem with the Browns is their whole organization is not on the same page and hasn't even came close to it. So you got Hugh Jackson has one idea about what he wants to do with the players.
You got the GM
and then the GM had his own vision. You had coordinators with their own opinions.
You got the freaking...
And then the ownership doesn't even seem like he plays in the game.
I don't think he just writes the checks.
So it's like that whole from top bottom. Because now you look at Kraft to Belichick to everything there. It seems like it's all seamless. They're all in communication. Kraft understands that and gives Belichick the power. Belichick now makes sure that everybody's in place and this is what we're going to get done. It's almost like one voice almost. But with the Browns, who the hell is the voice? Like, who is the voice? And that's been the problem. Like, it's never been a singularity voice. Hugh Jackson in one space, Sashi Brown, he pops up when he wants to. It's like, who's the guy? And the Giants had that same problem just now. When the Giants had Coughlin, we knew Reese was there, but Coughlin was the voice. It ran through Coughlin. Even though Reese was still a general manager, Coughlin stood as the leader of the entire Giants organization at that time. Mm-hmm. And everything kind of seemed through him, right? Last year, it was like, oh, is it McAdoo? Is it Reese? Like, nobody seemed to have an answer to it. And that's why the season fell apart. Like, with the Saints, the reason why there's still good money after all these years, Peyton is the word. It is Sean Payton. Since he's gotten it, it is through him. Period.
He's the man with the man.
Even if the GM wants a different decision, it's going through Payton.
He's the only one that lost this past weekend that no one said anything about.
And they're not going to.
Why would you?
Because Payne, again, is coming through him. So once the game's over, he's standing up and saying, this is what happened. This is what we was looking at. This is what's going to happen next year to fix this. It's not the GM got to, find better players or, we're not sure what's going to be going on with Drew Brees. It's none of that.
Yeah, you know what'd be funny, though? We'll say this last thing.
Yeah.
If the Saints pick up Lamar Jackson.
Let him sit for a year and then let Payne just unleash offense with Jackson. Oh my God!
With the two-headed running back,
Oh my God.
Michael Thomas is a wide receiver. All you gotta do is pick up a tight end. That's it.
That would be foolish.
The defense is already looking set.
Like,
You pick up another pass rusher.
I wouldn't even know what to think of that offense. Like, foolish. Like, it would be almost like video games.
Just picture the run option with him in this. Oh, hey, pass that Kamara.
This is almost like if RG3 had Sean Payne as his coach. Oh my God.
Superior talent.
But yeah, and this was a great alternative view.
Yeah.
So another change of pace sports with alternative views. Next week we got more WWF Worldwide Football News, more NBA talk, more NFL talk,
All around talk.
defend you, more alternative views as we continue to change the pace of today's sports, one alternative view at a time.
Uno momento.
Best urban sports talk on the net right now. Till next week. Peace.
Take it easy.